We've got an impulsive move up. We've got this bold structure. We have still only got three waves in place. Okay, so we do really need this fifth wave to come in. Otherwise, we do have the risk that this is an ABC and that we've got continuation to the downside, and nobody wants to see that. Okay, so this fifth wave is very important. If once we've got this fifth wave in place, okay, this is what I would expect: some kind of corrective pattern. Okay, it could come all the way down here. We could completely crash, or we could do something like this. It's yeah. Until we get to this moment, we're not going to know. Okay, but technically, we could come down and take out the fourth wave. So it could be quite a violent correction before we get some more upside. The reason I say that is that if I do this, and we won't put it on log scale, we'll do that. Okay. Around there is your kind of your golden pocket for a second wave. Whether that comes in as an ABC or something a little bit more complicated, maybe we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as an ABC, wave one being A, wave two being B, and then you get like a WXY for the C leg. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. What I mean by that is that you do this. Let's say do one, which is your A wave, two, and then your B wave becomes this WXY. So that becomes a WXY. Okay, so it looks like 5 waves down, but it's not. It's a WXY. And we'll put the 1.618 on. If it comes down into the golden pocket after we've done 5 waves, that's really bullish. Okay, and I would consider that a deep correction because we've come into the 0.618. If we go lower, then to be honest, that's really just a buying opportunity. I would then expect that wave 3 is going to be our most violent wave. Okay, now there is also a possibility that we can go even higher than this. We could fully extend to the 2.618. Okay, so our third wave is going to be somewhere here. That's going to be your red zone. Okay, so anywhere from 7,000 all the way up to 60,000. Okay, if we break this 1.618 zone, then obviously you're going to get a wave 4, and then the wave 5 might take us up to the 59,000. Okay, so there's two opportunities to get to 50k. So this is what I'm trying to say. I hope that makes sense. If you don't get it on the third wave doesn't extend. You've got another opportunity for the fifth wave to come in, and the fifth wave may just go slightly higher than the third wave, but the opportunity is there to go. Okay, so that's on the higher time frame. That's how I think we can get there. Let's have a look on the hourly and let's see what's been going on. Okay, so on the hourly, we're looking like we're just consolidating above this resistance, which, if you remember, is the handle of the cup and handle formation on the daily chart. Okay, so on the 4-hour chart, we're just consolidating on that line. Looks like we have a good chance of breaking out. To be honest, this news that came out about the Bitcoin ETF, I don't believe that was even the news that pushed the price up. To be honest, I think that the price was already going that way. It just helped a little bit. Yeah, it is what it is. But the price was going there anyway. And then if we get up into on the weekly, if we get up into the $1,000 range and it's quick, then yeah, 10,000, 20,000, that's where we're going. this could be a very big trade for everyone, and I think it's a sleeping giant as well. So this with the first fib zone, it's definitely got to be the 0.236. Okay, I'm trying to do this chart quickly because I do think that this asset is going to start moving pretty quick. All of my alerts have been going off this morning for Bitcoin Cash, so I thought I'd get a video out pretty quick. But yeah, I've had my eye on Bitcoin Cash for about 3 years. I've been accumulating it. I accumulated some here, some here. I did even buy some here. I don't really know why, but I did. I had some profits and I just put them in, and all the way down. Um, so I don't know what's making this go off. Maybe there's some news, maybe there's some narrative. I don't know. If you do know, then please put them in the comments. I'd appreciate that. But yeah, this is what I'm looking for Bitcoin Cash. I think it's going to come to about 13 to 15,000. It might go higher, and if we go on the log scale, it could go a lot higher. On the log scale, we could be looking at about 50,000. So 50,000 is my top end target for Bitcoin Cash, and that's why. So there's 50,000. If it goes to 50,000, then yeah, that's going to be why. Okay, if you haven't joined Man Pro Club, then I do recommend that you come and have a look. You can get a 1 week trial for just £39. If you don't like it, then it's only £39. But yeah, we provide some good and honest content and trade signals and the £1,000,000 challenge, the $100 to 10,000 weekly challenge. There's betting tips as well. There's all sorts. So yeah, okay, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks.
Last correction before Bitcoin goes parabolic. And then it happens in the last correction before Bitcoin goes parabolic and ends. And then we have it happen here as well. 4.0. Structurally, they even look incredibly similar to each other as well. After they break out, they back test, waddles at the bottom, break after a declining channel, which they both have. Now, what was interesting about Bitcoin from here is really we didn't see a whole lot more in regards to price action after that point. It really became strong distribution at this point. And these moments all throughout here is where the altcoin market goes wild. But is there any other on-chain data pointing to something similar between these moments? One other topic we've discussed is looking at wallets with greater than 10 Bitcoin, because really they're the one subset group that gave a pretty clear view into what was going on back then. And what we could see here in 2021 is this is that January rally right here that we're talking about all throughout here. And you could see wallets with greater than 10 Bitcoin were selling off into this. And as this next rally came in, they continued selling off. Notice they weren't selling off into the rise up until it got to the all-time high. Once the all-time high was cleared, boom, wallets with greater than 10 Bitcoin started distributing onto the retail crowd. Now, moving forward here to 2024, we could see that as October came in, these wallets with greater than 10 Bitcoin started distributing into this rally. Now, if you look back here, back into 2021 and 2022, they kind of stayed down here until finally Luna collapsed, Celsius collapsed, and boom, they came in and scooped up the market. And then when FTX collapsed, boom, they bought the market. The smart money. Remember, retail is screaming for 12K at that time. not the smart money. They came in scooping it up. But as the price rises and everybody gets really excited, they're over here selling. And so what is happening now, right? Notice the new break into the high, the selling continues and gets more aggressive. Well, look to now, right? It stalls out here. And then now with this new move, the wallets greater than 10 are continuing to sell, just as they were back here. You can look at the level at which they're at right now. They've come down pretty far. Go back and see where they were, right? Tops out at almost the same level as back here. And then now we're all the way down to these levels here with wallets greater than 10. So it's like they're in clear distribution happening in here. You would expect to see that behavior happening here as this thing is topping. Zoom in a little bit closer and you could see that break. They said, nope, we're selling into that. Now, that's okay for the rest of the market because it was those points where there just wasn't much left in Bitcoin where everything rotated around and it went crazy throughout the whole market. But this type of behavior, well, they don't have very far to go to just get to the FTX levels. Look at the FTX levels. They were right here. That's where the bottom of the market is. They're almost back down to where they were there. And so on chain, you're seeing similar behaviors to these two moments as well as if you're right in here. Personally, I don't think we'll make the exact same structure as we made back in 2021. This was quite unique. Conceptually, it makes sense. Essentially, this is the first major profit take that happens, and then it goes on to go poke for the actual high. Usually tops do look like that. Just this was really drawn out. However, the altcoin market went absolutely nutty in this period where Bitcoin pushes to the new all-time high and then goes completely nutty into the 702 Fibonacci retracement level, just like it did back in 2017. Considering a measured move puts you at about $107,000, $108,000, would make logical sense to me that we're probably starting to form this up in here. Again, that's super exciting for the rest of the market, but for Bitcoin, it seems like it's probably going to be running out of steam pretty soon if this is correct. And if this is correct, and if this is correct. And well, if this idea is correct and these things are moving on similar timetables as they have been in here, right? I mean, this only gets you out to March, which is 4 months away. And while this whole region in here, this thing only lasts for 93 days. So just on timetables of where we're at, it's not crazy. If this did move at the rate that it's moving at, it would not be crazy for this whole market to come to a conclusion by March, which would not be crazy for any of this to be happening here or for any of this to be happening in here. And that distribution could go ahead and start beginning for Bitcoin. It would make sense. 4 months of distribution for Bitcoin makes perfect sense to me. And that's really kind of what you would be looking for at this phase if that's where you would be at. Because when you go back and look at the Bitcoin dominance from back then, which is this time period that we're talking about right in here. Well, what was Bitcoin doing? Well, Bitcoin had just done that big break. And where was it? It was right here, right there, which is right here, like we keep talking about. It was right there. And the crazy all happens in here and concludes on that retrace right there. And if you'd like to see that in the perspective of the altcoins and why, if you're an altcoiner, you may actually be cheering for that, is you can look to that moment right there. And where was the altcoin market at that time? It was right here. Go back and you'll see that the altcoin market was merely into a retracement at that time. Where? At its 702 Fibonacci retracement. So it was shortly after that the breakout really came for the altcoin market, and all the crazy that ended up happening in the altcoin market came during that time period right there. That's where expansion came in and all the crazy happened when distribution was starting for Bitcoin. And this chart and this 702 right here is for total 3, which is the altcoin market excluding Ethereum. Well, where's the altcoin market now, or total 3? 702 retracement. So food for thought. It's interesting. A very similar price action